Good morning and welcome. There are no props actually required for this practice. However, if you like knee padding, blocks, and all those things, go ahead and get those for yourself. And I invite you to lie down in Shavasana, please. And as you settle in, make any little adjustments and refinements that will invite in ease and comfort. And welcome to 2021. And I'd like to share a little inspirational reading to begin our practice and perhaps begin the journey into this new year. And it's from Melody Beattie's book, Journey to the Heart. And this is for January 1st. Honor the beginning. Beginnings can be delicate or explosive. They can start almost invisibly or arrive with a big bang. Beginnings hold the promise of new lessons to be learned, new territory to be explored, and old lessons to be recalled, practiced, and appreciated. Beginnings hold ambiguity, promise, fear, and hope. Don't let the lessons, the experiences of the past, dampen your enthusiasm for beginnings. Just because it's been hard doesn't mean it always will be that difficult. Don't let the heartbreaks of the past cause you to become cynical, close you off to life's magic and promise. Open yourself wide to all that the universe has to say. Let yourself begin anew. Pack your bags. Choose carefully what you bring, because packing is an important ritual. Take along some humility and the lessons of the past. Toss in some curiosity and excitement about what you haven't yet learned. Say your goodbyes to those you're leaving behind. Don't worry who you will meet or where you will go. The way has been prepared. The people you are to meet will be expecting you. A new journey has begun. Let it be magical. Let it unfold. And for the next few moments, experience your breath. Letting your breath be slow and steady and calm and comfortable. Wherever you journey today or this year, your breath is your constant companion. Let it guide you and support you. And as a constant companion, let it initiate the next few movements as you deepen your breath and begin to awaken your body, awakening to this moment, to this practice, and perhaps even to this year. Invite in stretches that are fully embodied. And when you're ready to, bend into your knees, roll to your side, and bring yourself up to a comfortable seated position. If sitting cross-legged works for your body, great. Choose differently if you would prefer. And as you arrive at your seat, I'm going to mirror these movements. Take your right hand down to your mat and sweep your left arm up and over, reaching across to your right, experiencing some stretch and some opening on the left side of your rib cage. You can turn the front of your chest down towards the ground here if you want, and feel like you're trying to touch your fingertips to the farthest corner of your room. As you inhale your next breath, rise up. Let your left hand come down and right arm sweep over as you come into the stretch on the other side. Again, you can turn your chest downward a little bit, feeling like you're reaching from your right hip through your fingertips. Remaining present with your breath, noticing where it moves. Inviting it to fill in the space along the right side of your torso. Next time you inhale, bring your spine up again and place your right hand on the floor. Sweep your left hand to your right knee and inhale tall through your spine. Feel like you're opening up the back of your heart a little bit so your rib cage rounds slightly, and turn the front of your heart to the right for a nice, easy twist. Any poses that we hold, you're welcome to keep moving and stretching. Sometimes that feels better. Or you can kind of hold in place and be with your breath, be with the stillness. As you inhale your next breath, unwind and change sides. Take another moment to find length along your spine and then round your rib cage slightly as you turn the front of your heart to your left. Comfortable and steady breaths. As we move together through this practice, please go your own way whenever you choose. Not all poses, movements are suitable for all bodies every time. So give yourself permission to honor what your needs are. And next time you inhale, unwind your twist and make a transition out to tabletop. And we'll come into something very familiar, cat and cow, lessons from the past. So cat and cow is really wonderful for mobilizing your spine. And so with that in mind, move with your breath, rounding your back as you exhale into a cat shape, and arching your spine as you tilt your tail up and reach your heart forward in the cow shape. And if there are other movements in here that you would like to explore, go ahead and do that. So within the tabletop position, there are lots of possibilities for free-form movement. This is intended to be a warm-up. So bring with you into this practice and this year anything that works from past lessons and experiences. And then in the next moment or two, bring yourself to a neutral spine in your tabletop position and slide your right toes back along your mat until your right leg is straight. Set the intention that your pelvis will stay steady as you lift your right leg up and reach your left arm forward, coming into bird dog. And so this is a reminder of dogs who point the way. And so perhaps with your intention, you're pointing the way for yourself for this new year. As you exhale your next breath, bring your hand and knee back down. Change sides by sliding your left toes back. Pelvis stays steady as you lift your left leg up. And then reach your right arm forward, bird dog. How is your breath here in this pose? Is it supporting you? Now, as you exhale your next breath, bring your hand and knee back down. With your toes turned under, lift into downward facing dog. And in this downward dog, you can move and stretch in any way that feels right and modify as well. If you are more comfortable being more upright in a forward fold and moving around, go ahead. And finish the next breath that you're on to come into what feels like your best expression of downward dog based on all that you know about yourself and your practice. Then as you inhale, come forward to a plank. That can be on your toes or on your knees. And exhale to lower down onto your belly. Lay the tops of your feet on your mat and prop yourself up onto your elbows for Sphinx pose. Now in Sphinx pose, you may choose to just let gravity have its way with you and let everything just kind of settle down. Even let your head hang down. This is the first back bend of the practice, and so sometimes it's nice to be gentle. And if you're ready for more, start to press your elbows down. Keep some tone in your low belly and press your pubis down, as well as your feet. And if you're ready for even more, you can press your hands down and start to lift up higher to go farther into a deep bend, deeper into a back bend. And that's great for some of us and probably doesn't feel good for others. So go your way. It's your journey. Now release. Bringing your hands now next to your shoulders, perhaps turning your toes under. Find your way to downward dog. That can be through hands and knees or pushing up through a plank. As you return to downward dog and its familiarity, notice how it feels. Now look forward and bring your hands towards your feet. That can be a walk or a hop. As you inhale, come up partway, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And as you exhale, fold deep. Bow to yourself. Bow to the year that was. And as you inhale, sweep your arms all the way up to the sky and to the possibility of the year that will be. And bring that home to your heart. Take a moment to stand in mountain pose or Samastihitihi. And standing here in the foundational pose of yoga. And then as you inhale your next breath, sweep your arms all the way up, palms touch. Exhale, fold forward into an Uttanasana, standing forward bend. Inhale, half lift as you gaze towards the horizon. Exhale and bow again. In your own way, make yourself, or come into plank pose, tripping over my words here. That can be on your knees or on your toes. Bend your elbows. That can be a push-up position or belly flop. And then as you inhale, come all the way down to your mat. And then as you inhale, lift up into a cobra. And then as you exhale, lower down. And let's do two more like that. Using your back, inhale, lift up, mini cobra, and exhale, lower down. Once more, inhale, lift up, mini cobra, and exhale, lower down. Turn your toes under and make your way back to downward facing dog. And we'll stay in down dog for a few breaths. Make the pose work for you in this moment. And when you're ready to come forward, look towards your hands and either walk or hop your feet towards your hands. Inhale for half lift and exhale to bow. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up to the sky. Maybe gather a little good intention between your hands and bring it home to your heart. Now take a bend into your knees and take your middle fingers down to touch your mat. As you inhale your next breath, sweep your arms forward and up. They can be apart or together. And then exhale and fold again, Uttanasana. Inhale to take a half lift. Exhale, fold again. Inhale to a plank pose. That can be on your knees or on your toes. Exhale, bend your elbows. Lower all the way down to your mat. Lay the tops of your feet on your mat, your chin on your mat, and reach your arms down beside you. Tone your belly. Press your lower body down. And inhale to curl up. Reach your arms up and back, coming into a locust position, Shalabhasana. Now you can, if you feel like it would be helpful, you can lift your legs as well. Finish the breath that you're on, lower yourself all the way down. Place your hands by your shoulders, turn your toes under, and return to downward dog. Bring your left foot forward a little bit, turning the toes out slightly, and then step your right foot to your hands, and inhale to rise up into Warrior One. Take Warrior One in a way that makes sense in your body. So that can be palms touching, it can be hands shoulder width apart, it can be hands on your hips. And as you take this shape called Virabhadrasana, remember that a Vira is a hero. And so we're writing a new story for ourselves, and we're the hero of that story. On your next exhalation, lower your palms to your mat. Spin onto the ball of your back foot. Step back, down dog or plank. Come forward to plank if you were in down dog. Bend your elbows. Lower to your mat. Come into cobra. And maybe this is a little bit higher than the last cobra. Then release your cobra. Turn your toes under. Return to downward dog. Step your right foot forward just a little bit. Turn the toes out slightly. Bring your left foot to your hands. And inhale, rise up, Warrior One. Hero One. As you exhale your next breath, lower your palms to your mat. Step back, plank. Exhale, bend your elbows. Inhale and take a back bend. Any back bend that you enjoy. I'm doing an upward dog. Then exhale to take a downward dog. And we'll take a few breaths here. And these breaths can be in downward dog or a resting position as you choose. Bring your gaze towards your hands. Bring your feet towards your hands. Inhale to reach your crown forward, half lift. Exhale to bow. Bend your knees. Inhale and come into chair pose. And then pressing down through your legs, exhale out to mountain, Samastihitihi. Now place your hands on your hips. Separate your feet about hip joint distance apart. And then try your best to keep your shin bones vertical as you sit back slightly. We're just going to play a little bit with balance here. So shift your weight to your right foot and feel like you're getting lighter with your left foot. And maybe even you can hover your left foot off the ground. And take another breath or two here, just hovering or thinking about hovering. And then put your left foot down, find center, and try the other side. So your weight comes over to your left foot, and you're hovering or thinking about hovering your right foot. So your right foot just gets lighter. And then bring your right foot back down. Push into your legs to stand all the way up. And take mountain pose or Samastihiti. As you inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. Exhale and fold forward. As you inhale, come into the half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And as you exhale, fold again. Now take a really big step back with your left foot and bring the whole sole of your foot down with your toes turned towards the long edge of your yoga mat and maybe turned in slightly, your choice. As you inhale, bring your spine upright and your arms out to the side. We'll take our second hero pose, Virabhadrasana 2. Now in your warrior 2 pose, feel that you've got stability and strength to support you, to move you through this world. Soften through your shoulders and bring your gaze out over your right hand. So I'm not mirroring right now. My right is your right. Notice where you feel the effort. And if it's all in one place, how can you distribute it more evenly? So for a lot of us, the effort might be in the right thigh. Can you make the back leg, the left leg, a little stronger? Perhaps there's effort creeping into the shoulders because they want to help. Can you soften and find support from the center of your body? Now let your left hand come down to your thigh or around your back. Turn your right palm up and reach up and over into an exalted warrior. So it's like we did that stretch earlier for the side body. And we're just finding that same feeling while we're standing in the hero stance. Next time you inhale, bring yourself back to warrior 2. And we're coming into extended side angle, so you can place your right forearm on your thigh. You can bring your hands down to your right hand to the floor or a brick, and reach your left arm over your left ear. Another option if placing your arm over your ear is problematic for you, reach your arm up to the ceiling. Now taking your gaze down to the floor, plant your hands, maybe wiggle your right foot to the right a little bit, spin onto the ball of your left foot, and step forward so you're in a standing forward fold. Inhale for a half lift, and exhale to fold. Inhale to step back with your right foot, and we'll repeat the sequence we just did. So we're coming into warrior 2. So when you're ready, inhale, bring your spine upright and your arms out, level with the earth. Soften through your shoulders and take your gaze out over your left hand. Come back to your breath. How is it supporting you here? The breath gives us such great feedback. Are we working too hard? Are we straining? Your breath is your guide. Now bring your right hand to your right thigh or around your back. Turn your left palm up, reach up and over into an exalted warrior. Looking for that feeling of stretch from the left hip, perhaps all the way through the left fingertips. And how does your breath change for you here in this position? Next time you inhale, return to warrior 2. And bring your left forearm to your thigh or your left hand to the floor or a brick. Reach your right arm over your right ear or point it up to the sky. Your choice. Utthita Parshvakonasana, extended side angle pose. Bringing your gaze down to your mat once more. Place both palms on your mat and maybe wiggle your left foot to the left slightly. Spin onto the ball of your right foot and step forward. Inhale to take a half lift, and exhale to fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Sweep your arms to the sky once more, and exhale to bring your hands home to your heart space. Release your hands and bring them to your hips, and have your feet about hip joint distance apart. Bend your knees again like we did earlier, and take your way over to your right foot. Now repeat that hovering sensation that we explored last time, and see if you can get so buoyant on your left foot that you can take it back and tap down behind you, and then bring it forward 3 times. And maybe this is something that you find is not right for you this morning, and you can just stay with the hover, or the idea of the hover. Okay, finish your third one. Let's go to the second side. So weight's in your left foot, right foot gets light, and maybe you step back and forward 3 times. And once you've done 3, press into your feet and stand all the way up. Good. All right, keep your hands on your hips for the moment, and shift your weight over onto, I'm mirroring now, your right foot. Hover your left foot. Option 1, stay here. This is great work. Option 2, bring your left knee up and either hold your knee or go for your big toe. You choose. And possibly, if you went for the big toe, reach your leg in front of you. Now, if it's in the realm of possibilities, take your leg out to the side and maybe turn your gaze the opposite way. Next time you inhale, bring your leg forward, bring your gaze forward, let go of your toe or your knee, and with control, bring your foot back down to the earth. Now take your way over to your left leg. Hover your right foot. Practicing the hover might be where you explore today, and it's great to do that. Possibly bring your right knee up. Hold your knee or your big toe with your right hand. If you're holding the big toe, experiment with reaching your leg forward and straight. Straight's relative, straighter than it was. And then let your leg move out to the side and possibly take your gaze in the opposite direction. Next time you inhale, bring everything back to midline. Let go of your toe or your knee and slowly bring your foot down. Now, sometimes that can feel like a lot of work on the feet, so if you need to kind of shimmy and dance around, go ahead and do that. Okay. So we have one more hero to explore. So I invite you to come to the top of your mat. And we're going to explore this through movement to get into Virabhadrasana 3 or Warrior 3 or Hero 3. So taking your weight now to your right foot, hover your left foot. And as you inhale, sweep your arms up overhead and bring your left knee forward. Maybe this is where you stay. And explore reaching your arms back behind you and your left leg back behind you. It can tap the floor. It can be just a little bit of movement. And then on your inhalation, can you come through again with your knee in front and your arms overhead? And then release. Come back out to mountain pose. Okay, let's do the second side. So shift your weight to your left foot, hover your right foot. Practicing hovering is great. Inhale, bring your knee forward, arms up. And maybe this can be with your toes on the ground, practicing your balance skills. And then as you wish, reach back into your expression of hero 3. And so this is where the road gets a little bumpy in our journey. It's like, how can I still be the hero of my story when things get challenging? Okay, well, they got super challenging for me. So when you're ready, come forward and up again, and release out to mountain pose. Shake it out. Okay, one more time. Now here's an option if you're like, I'm not really interested in the warrior 3. I'm more interested in putting down roots and being a tree. Go your own way if you would like to practice any other balancing pose. I will talk you through and move with you through another warrior 3. Take your weight to your right leg. On your inhalation, bring your arms up and your left knee forward. As you exhale, reach your left leg back, arms go back initially. They can stay there. You can bring them out in an airplane position, or you can even reach them forward, your choice. As you inhale, come forward and up. Exhale, mountain pose. Take your weight, take your weight over to your left leg. And bring your knee forward, arms up. And exhale, reach your arms back, reach your leg back. Find the place where you can navigate this pose. Your arms can stay back, they can come out to the sides. You're also welcome to reach them forward. And then inhale to come forward and up. And exhale to release your pose. Shake out any energy that you may have been holding on to. And find Tadasana, Samastihitihi. Inhale once more, sweep your arms all the way up. And exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale and bow. Step back, downward dog. Opportunity to go right to a child's pose here, or if you're feeling that it would serve you to go through a vinyasa, follow me. Inhale, plank. Exhale, bend your elbows. Inhale for a back bend. And then we'll move differently to come out. Knees come down, buttocks back towards the heels for a child's pose. If child's pose is not restful for you, perhaps lie on your belly, stretching out flat, or choose another position that works for you. And so as you come into your child's pose or your resting position, return to an awareness of your breath. And in this position, come back to connecting with the earth, with stability, with presence, to the familiar. And then when you're ready, come up on an inhalation, and you'll lift your buttocks off your heels. So you're more or less in a tabletop position. And sit over onto your right hip. So I'm mirroring now. You're gonna sit on your right hip with your feet out to the left. We're coming into Bharadvajasana 1, and Bharadva is a sage. Bring your right hand to the floor for support, and bring your left hand to your right knee. You want to have enough space between your knees here so you feel like you're stable. And inhale to grow nice and tall from your tail to your crown. And then Feel like you're opening into the back of your heart a little bit, so rounding, and then exhale and turn the front of your heart to your right. Slow, steady, intentional breaths here. Next time that you inhale, unwind your twist so you're facing forward. Take both of your hands behind you so you can lean back and shift to the other side so you're sitting on your left hip and your feet are out to your right. Let your left hand come to the floor for support and your right hand to your left knee. Inhale, grow tall from tail to crown. Exhale, widen the back of your heart. So you're opening the back of your heart space. And exhale, turn the front of your heart to your left. Next time you inhale, unwind your twist. Take your hands out behind you so you can lean back and take your legs out in front of you. And so with the legs out in front, you want to have your heel bones about hip joint distance apart. So you don't need to have your legs squished right up against each other. And place your hands by your hips on the floor if you can. So depending on body proportion, if your hands are on the floor, you might have your elbows bent, or you might need to come up onto your fingertips. So there's a lot of individual variation here. Next time you inhale, look for lots of length and height through your spine. Then as you exhale, widen across your collarbones and soften your shoulders down. So then more of the support is coming from your core and your shoulders aren't doing the work of holding you up. Now stay here, or if you wish, hinge forward from your hips to come into Paschimottanasana, which is the west side stretch. In yoga, the back of your body is your west side. Bring your hands to a position that feels supportive in your body. And here are some options you can play with. Hands can stay on the floor. They can be on your legs. You can hold on to your big toes. You can wrap your hands around the outer edges of your feet. And some of you might be able to hold hands around the soles of your feet. And once you're in position, just let your head hang down. Stay present with your breath. And think of this as a seated expression of the standing forward folds that you did earlier in practice. And in these forward folds, we can contemplate what we're bowing to. Next time you inhale, let your hands give you support. So place them on the floor. Bring your spine upright. And take your hands behind you as you bend your knees. And move from seated to supine. So you can lie down on your back. Now as you come here onto your back, take a moment to just feel into this new position. And we'll do just a little bit of spinal movement to start with here. So place your hands on the low part of your ribs. And your ribs are intended to stay relatively still here. In fact, where your hands are at the front of your low rib cage, let that part of your rib cage drop down. And keeping that steady, tuck your tailbone so that your low back flattens without moving your rib cage. And then arch your low back, tailbone moving towards the ground, Again, the rib cage not moving. So it ends up being a smaller movement than it might otherwise be. Now go back and forth in a rhythm that feels suitable for your body today. And this undulation of tucking and tilting might be all you choose to do as a back bend today. So stay with that if that's your preference. And if you would like to follow me into bridge pose, Satyabandha Sarvangasana, find neutral for your pelvis and bring your arms down beside your body, palms facing down. Align your feet so that you imagine as you lift up, your feet compress down to give you support. Widen your collarbones and draw your shoulder blades towards each other on your back. Then when you're ready, inhale to lift all the way up with your pelvis, pressing your feet down into your mat and away from your upper body. Stay here if you choose. Another option, interlace your hands behind your back, roll your shoulder blades closer to each other. And one more time, press down and away with your feet to lift your hips up high and feel as if you're bringing your heart towards your head. Come down whenever you choose or stay for a few more breaths. Now to release the pose, release your hands first, widen your shoulder blades, and then let yourself come all the way back and down. Once your pelvis arrives at your mat, do a couple more of the tucks and tilts, just moving your low back, the lumbar spine. And then find neutral and fan your arms out to the sides. Move your pelvis over towards the right edge of your mat and step both feet to the right edge of your mat. Option one, your feet and knees stay close together as you take your knees out to the left. Option two, cross your right thigh over your left thigh, maybe even hook your right toes behind your left calf for twisted roots. So you choose what feels best for you. Let your knees drop out to the left and find a position where you know that you can settle in and relax for a few breaths. Nice, steady, supported twist. Come back to your breath. And each time you exhale, invite your body to welcome more support from the earth. As you inhale your next breath, let your knees come up to point towards the ceiling. If you crossed your legs, uncross them. Move your hips over towards the left edge of your mat. Bring your feet over as well. And either keep your legs in this position or cross your left thigh over your right. Twisted roots. And let your knees move to your right. What you need on this side might be different than the other side. And allow that, if it's true, to be an invitation to adjust into a slightly different position for the pose on this side. Invite the earth to support you, gravity to hold you. With your next inhalation, point your knees up towards the ceiling. If your legs are crossed, unwind them. And lift and shift your pelvis so it feels like it's centered on your mat. Bring your right knee in towards your chest and wrap your hands either around your right shin or behind your knee onto your thigh. Behind the knee is often nice if you've got knee issues, because then there's less pressure on the joint. And now send your left leg out. Option 1, rest it on the ground. Option 2, engage the leg muscles and hover your leg just above your mat. Both are great. Experiment if you're not sure what's right for you. And we'll be here for a few breaths. Let your breath be steady and comfortable. Let your belly be soft enough that there's a quality of lightness in your breath. With your next inhalation, release by bringing your left knee towards your chest. Bring your hands over to your left leg and reach your right leg out. Honor what this side needs. It might be slightly different. Invite your belly to be soft and your breath to feel gentle. Next time you inhale, bring your right knee in towards your chest. Option 1, hug your knees in for Uttanasana, the wind relieving pose. Option 2, hold your big toes or your feet and play around with a happy baby pose. So you decide which one feels the most supportive, or if you're not undecided, then do them both. There's room for that. Enjoy 1 or 2 more breaths in whatever position you chose. Then release and prepare for Shavasana. So if you want to do a movement or two to feel like your practice is complete, you're welcome to do that. And if you like to have a comfortable Shavasana with props and blankets, etc., please go ahead and gather whatever you need to be as comfortable as you can be for Shavasana. If you're still preparing for Shavasana, take your time. And when you feel settled, tune into your breath once more. Your constant companion, your guide. Now invite your breath to be as long and slow as it can be without creating stress or discomfort in your body, mind, or heart. Slow and steady breaths in. Slow and steady breaths out. Letting your breath breathe your whole body. Visualizing it moving through your whole body as you inhale. And inviting you to relax and release your whole body as you exhale. Experience your whole body from head to toe, the full length of your physical being. Experience the full width of your body, left to right. And the full depth of your body, front to back and back to front. Each breath an affirmation of your presence. Each breath an affirmation that you are the hero of your story. And knowing that you are being breathed, let your whole body be supported by the earth. Let your whole body be held and hugged by gravity. And let your whole being settle into stillness. Symbolically, Shavasana is about letting go. And new beginnings are also about letting go to make space, to make room for possibility. If your mind has taken a journey in the next few moments, gently guide it back. Come back to your presence on your mat. The presence of your body, your breath. Resting in Shavasana at the end of an asana practice is an opportunity to integrate lessons learned and an opportunity to dissolve and resolve what no longer serves you. Shavasana is an ending, and it's also a beginning. Melody Beattie says, all parts of the journey are sacred and holy. Take time now to honor the beginning. Let your breath deepen. And as your breath flows more fully through your body-mind, begin to move once more. Trust your wisdom, all that you've learned, all that you know that has supported you on your journey up to this point. And when you're ready to bend your knees and roll to one side, and take a moment on your side to honor where you are in this moment. And honor your new beginning. When you're ready, come all the way up to find your seat. And once you have found your seat, I invite you to join your hands in Anjali Mudra, the seal of offering, and place that offering in front of your heart space. And bow to yourself, to your journey, and to your choice to welcome in 2021 by moving and breathing and coming into presence with yourself. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shantahi. Om, peace, peace, peace.